Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Lee. I come from Bukit Mertajam. So in this video, I have to complete what I started, which is UASA, UASA, Bahasa Melayu for SJKC, SJKT, and SK, Sekolah Rendah. Okay, so I'm now at bahagian C, which is actually writing, but I can't really say it is writing because it is writing one paragraph. It is not writing an essay, so I shouldn't call it penulisan actually, but actually it is penulisan, right? Normally, when we say components of a language, if we say penulisan, we tend to mean that it is actually writing an essay. But actually here is not writing an essay because you are only expected to write one paragraph. So bearing in mind that this section has only got one question, one paragraph to write, 10 marks are allocated, and therefore it is suggested that we spend 15 minutes, which for me, 50 words, not more than 50 words, you see. Could be just around 6 or probably 7 sentences. That's it. So to use 15 minutes to write 6 or 7 sentences, really, there is a lot of time. So it does not mean that you just scribble your way through. You have to follow the technique of answering the question. What is the best way? What is the required way to answer this question so that we can get the maximum marks? So it's not simply copying the answer and writing down the main points. Unless that student is unable. Okay, there are students who are not able to write. So if the student is unable to write and that student sort of copies the question and copies the main point, well, you still get marks. You still get marks. Why? Because what is needed is there. Meaning to say the question is mentioned, the points are written down. So probably the student will get around maybe 3 or 4 marks, which is okay because the student is unable to write. Okay, now let us assume that we all need to write and we know the method of writing. So we need to study the technique of getting marks the highest possible. Okay, out of the 10 points given, the 10 marks given. Now remember that this is called bahagian C, 10 marks are allocated, you are given 15 minutes and you should not write more than 50 words. Now, you may ask this question, how many points do I need to write? Well, for me, minimum 2 points. Maximum, I can't tell you. Okay, but I would not say that you have to write some maybe 4, 5 or even 6 points, even if you have. Why? Because you have a word restriction. You are not to write more than 50 words. How many points can you give? So let us say safely 2 points. That means 2 main points. These 2 main points elaborate with your point. I think plus the question, I think 2 or maybe 3 should be fine, should be okay. Okay, even 3 points I find it difficult unless the points that are given by the examiner or in the exam question paper and my own points have very few words. Then okay, maybe 3 points. Otherwise, for me, 2 points should be just nice. Should be just nice. But if you can try if you want 3 points. Okay. Now, 1 paragraph, remember, and your essay must have a combination of what you call isi tersurat, or in English we call it explicit points, and then you need to combine it with isi tersirat, implicit points. Now isi tersirat means your own, you create it. Okay, isi tersurat is copying or taking the points that are given by in the examination paper. So tersurat means you take the points given to you. You write down the points that are given to you. And then you add on to your own points, which are called isi tersirat. Okay? Now, so 2 to 3 points. Now, let us say the real technique of answering. First of all, you have to make sure that all these things are inside your essay. Your not essay, but your paragraph. You must have this penanda wacana. I wouldn't say must, but I can still say must. It is very important you have penanda wacana, and these are the examples. Antara or antaranya. Selain itu, which means besides. Di samping itu is also besides. Seterusnya means following that. Akhir sekali is finally or lastly, I would say. Okay, so you must ensure that your paragraph has penanda wacana, followed by, you can see that it is comma, it is not full stop. So you finish this, continue here. So what is suggested? Now you can say kita mestilah, because most of the questions will be based on cara-cara, langkah-langkah, like cara-cara untuk mencegah penyakit demam tinggi, or langkah-langkah untuk memastikan pencemaran alam tidak berlaku di seluruh dunia, for example. Now, so you write this first, penanda wacana, example selain itu, comma, okay, you can see it's a comma, continue here. Kita choose one. You can say mestilah, patutlah, hendaklah, perlulah, wajarlah, haruslah, bolehlah. Choose one. So for example, you can say, selain itu, kita mestilah. Mestilah what? After the word mestilah, this is your isi tersurat, your explicit point. Meaning to say, the point that is given in the test paper, in the exam paper. Take that point and write down, kita mestilah what? Okay, just for example, just now, langkah-langkah untuk mencegah penyakit demam denggi, for example. So my point, I say kita mestilah, and then take the point from the test paper or the exam paper. Kita mestilah, example penyakit demam denggi, memastikan kawasan rumah kita sentiasa bersih, example. But I don't put a full stop. I continue here. I can use semasa untuk supaya apabila agar. Supaya nyamuk Aedes tidak berpeluang untuk membiak. This is my isi tersirat. This is my own point. My own point is called isi tersirat. So one whole thing, you have this first, penanda wacana, even the first line. The first line is, pada pendapat saya, cara-cara untuk mencegah penyakit demam denggi, or I use antara. Pada pendapat saya, antara cara. When you use antara, you cannot say antara cara-cara anymore. It's antara cara one time only, you cannot ganda. Cannot say antara langkah-langkah, it's antara langkah. Okay? Or langkah-langkah. Antara cara or cara-cara, that's it. So, pada pendapat saya, then I maybe use this, antara. Antara cara untuk mencegah penyakit demam denggi ialah, and then I write this one, kita mestilah memastikan kawasan rumah kita tidak mempunyai bekas-bekas yang bertakung air, supaya I continue, you know, the main point, continue supaya nyamuk Aedes tidak berpeluang untuk membiak, breed, then I put a full stop. So this is my first point. So I use a penanda wacana, and then I say kita mestilah, main point, and then kata hubung, conjunction. You can say apabila, semasa, or you say supaya, and then the next point is my own point. So that is called isi tersirat. Finish that, I go to the second point. Second point, again the same formula. Selain itu, kita mestilah, or I already use mestilah, so I use patutlah also can, hendaklah also can. Kita hendaklah, then I give the second point. Membersihkan, example, given to us, membersihkan longkang-longkang. Or, membersihkan longkang-longkang atau pari berhampiran rumah kita. And then I continue here, agar air dapat mengalir dengan deras atau dengan mudah. That is my point. So that is called isi tersirat. And then if I want to give the third point, I think by what I said just now, I don't think I can give the third point. Why? Because there is a word limitation. I can only write 50 words. So by what you heard just now, me mentioning all the things, I think around 40 over words already. So what do? I can stop and go to bahagian D, or for me, if I were the candidate, I will start counting already. By the second point, I can start counting. Then I will decide. Then I count, I say 42 words. I still have 8 words. What do? So what do? I write one more sentence. I cannot give any more points because it's only 8 words. If I give a point, I would not be able to huraikan. Then what is the point? It's just copying inside to achieve the 50 words. I wouldn't do that. So what would I do? I would create one sentence to conclude the whole passage. So the topic could be cara-cara untuk mencegah penyakit demam tinggi. So I will cara-cara, I will just write one line as what you call kesimpulan, but I won't use the word kesimpulan. I will just give one concluding sentence. Normally, concluding sentence, it would be best to use the effect. What effect would we get if we use these ways to prevent penyakit demam tinggi, for example? So I say cara-cara tersebut dapat memastikan penyakit demam tinggi tidak berlaku di kawasan kediaman. Or cara-cara tersebut akan memastikan kehidupan penduduk setempat akan bebas daripada penyakit demam tinggi. So I make sure that I will create an 8-word sentence just to add one line to it. Can or not? Can. Now there's another way. Maybe you would think, so can I give examples? Can. You can. So if you prefer that type where you want to huraikan more a bit, that means you want to expand a bit more, you want to kembang a bit more. So same method, kita mesti main point, and then untuk or supaya or agar or whatever, and then your own idea, full stop. Then you add one more line. Contohnya also can. You can use contoh. Example, cara-cara untuk menjamin kesihatan kita. So the main point given to us is makan makanan seimbang, eat a balanced diet. So my main point, I still will write. I will write the same thing. I will write antara cara untuk menjamin kesihatan kita ialah, and then I write the main point. The main point is makan makanan yang seimbang, but I don't put full stop. So I say antara cara untuk menjamin kesihatan kita ialah kita mestilah atau kita patutlah makan makanan yang seimbang. I continue. So I simply choose one. I choose supaya badan kita sentiasa sehat. Badan kita mendapat nutrien yang diperlukan untuk terus hidup, example. Then if I want to further kembang, I put contohnya. I tell you, For me, the best would be putting contoh in the middle so that you can adjust how many words you want. You don't write and then write to the second point, then you discover you got so much space left, and then you start writing add until the second point is so wide and then the first point is only like that. You add it to the first one if you want, if you are the type who is worried that you cannot achieve the 50 words given, or if you are worried that you know, you are not creative enough, go ahead, write it after the first point, so it's easy for you to adjust. So you can say contohnya, because you mentioned nutrient. Contohnya badan kita akan mendapat karbohidrat, protein, kalsium, dan vitamin. Then only I go selain itu. So you see, you can be creative as you want to be, because writing does not limit us. But the main things that we need must be there. This is Bahasa Melayu. Contoh already selain itu, the second point. Selain itu, example, kita perlulah minum secukup air supaya badan kita mempunyai air yang mencukupi. Example. And then I finish the huraian, the supaya part. Then I can start counting already. How many words do I have? So maybe I count 46 words, enough already, I can submit. It is not necessary that you must write a concluding sentence. Why? Because if you write a concluding sentence, it would be more than 50 words. And they already said not more than 50 words. So if that is the situation, you don't need to write the last line, which is actually a concluding sentence, which is the effect usually. Don't write, just go to section D. But if, like I mentioned just now, there is enough space, then I can add one line. The effect, if we use these methods to protect ourselves, for example. So I would like to discuss with you now. So remember, this one of course I write 4 points. So I just do a summary. This one, important, you must have penanda wacana, isi which is given by in the examination paper, and then you need a kata hubung, this one, after that huraian. So you follow this method. In between, you can write contoh. You can even write tujuan, you know. Like for example, jiran tetangga. Kepentingan jiran tetangga selalu bermesra. Then you can write cara-cara bagaimana jiran-jiran boleh bermesra or berharmoni, example. Then you can give a tujuan, you see. Yes, you can put tujuan as huraian, further menghuraikan. So you can say, contohnya kita boleh mengadakan aktiviti gotong royong supaya semua jiran dapat bersama melakukan sesuatu aktiviti demi kepentingan semua. Dan you say tujuannya ialah tujuan gotong royong ini. Tujuannya ialah tujuan gotong royong ini ialah untuk memastikan jiran tetangga, jiran kita, jiran-jiran dapatlah selalu bersama untuk bergaul bebas. Example, you can. Tujuannya ialah. So you can, how you want to huraikan, but make sure that you have all these things in, and there is a minimum of 2 ideas. You can't have one idea and you keep writing everything down, like you give the huraian and then you give contoh and then you give tujuan, and then you find that you don't have enough space or words to write your second essay. Then it's going to be a headache for you, because you need a minimum of 2 points. Okay, 3 points is okay if your sentences are very short. If they are long, then 2 points is enough. Always bear in mind, you need 50 words as the maximum. So now I will just give you a simple what I call paragraph. If my tajuk, if the topic given to me is Langkah-langkah menjaga keselamatan diri di jalan raya. So steps to look after or take care of your own safety on the road. So I start like the common way, pada pendapat saya. And then I use this one, antara, small letter. Antara langkah menjaga keselamatan diri di jalan raya adalah, then I continue here. Kita, I use mestilah. So kita mestilah menggunakan, kita mestilah menggunakan lintas belang. Lintas belang, I think you know is zebra crossing, right? And then I choose this one, supaya pemandu kereta dapat memperlahankan kereta semasa melihat kita melintas jalan raya. And then I give my second point. I say selain itu, so I use this one. Selain itu, kita, then I choose one more. Just now I use mestilah. So now maybe I can use perlulah. Kita perlulah mengelakkan, that means avoid, mengelakkan gangguan telefon bimbit. So it's very important. This is an important point, I believe. Not I believe, but I'm sure. Because many accidents happen because drivers or people who are riding motorcycles or even pedestrians, they were busy on the handphone, either listening to the handphone or busy texting. Some are very professional. They drive with one hand and then they can, or even ride the motorcycle. They can text. Oh, very professional. But many times accidents happen because of this. So I choose this as my point, or the point is given to me. Okay. Then I say why? Mengelakkan is to avoid gangguan telefon bimbit, the mobile phone's disturbance. And then this time I use same meaning. I use agar because first time I use supaya. So I say agar, which means so that dapat bertindak balas pantas. I can have a quick reaction terhadap sebarang bahaya, to any danger, secara mengejut. Mengejut means sudden. To any sudden danger, I can have a very fast reaction because I don't have a handphone, I don't have anything. I'm aware all the time. So I count. I say, 42 words already. Either I go to section D, leave it at 42 words, or I add another sentence which will complete or make it 50 words. So maybe I think of an 8-word sentence, so I can conclude. So my conclusion is the effect. So I may say like this. Langkah-langkah tersebut, that means these steps, penting untuk mencegah kemalangan di jalan raya. That's it. Then I can move to section D. Alright? So I hope you understand what is required. Always remember, pada pendapat saya, if you want, or if you don't want, you directly mention the title. After the title, then you can say antara, and then either is, you mention the antara first is better. So antara cara, so you don't have to create a sentence. If you use antaranya, you will have to start that. Terdapat banyak cara untuk mencegah penyakit COVID-19. Then you say, antaranya ialah, you're wasting one sentence. Do you really have that long, do you really have that number of words? So you better be careful. So if I will just say, pada pendapat saya, antara, and then I write the title. Antara cara untuk mengelakkan kemalangan di jalan raya ialah, and then kita mestilah. Okay? After the word mestilah, or perlulah, or haruslah, I directly copy down the given point, which is called the isi tersurat. And then I don't put full stop, I continue with semasa, untuk, supaya, apabila, or agar. And then I complete this sentence with my own idea, full stop. And then up to you, you want to say contohnya, tujuannya is okay. If you don't want, go to the second point, selain itu. And then as I've mentioned, if you like to be creative, you like to use things like contohnya, do it in the middle. Don't do it at the last line, because you may discover that the first point is not that long, and then the second point becomes very long because you want to achieve 50 words. That is not a good way of writing, presenting your views. Okay, so in the middle, if you like contohnya, tujuannya, then move to the second point. After that, you can start counting. If there's extra space, if there are some 8 words left, you can write like what I mentioned just now, give a small conclusion. The conclusion is usually the effect of all the langkah-langkah or the cara-cara. Then if not, you have already got 50, 45 or 46 words, that's it. Just move to the next section. Okay, so I hope you understand what I have taught and the guidelines. Remember to follow this. Penanda wacana, kita mestilah kata hubung and then your own huraian. Okay, ensure all these things are in and remember to write down the title as well. Okay, so that's all for this video. I will see you again the next video for bahagian D.